Rohini Kelkar is a clinical microbiologist with 36 years experience. She is here with us to answer questions pertaining to the diagnostic testing for the SARS coronavirus 2 or the COVID-19, which is the agent responsible for the current pandemic. Dr. Kelkar, does a negative lab report confirm absence of COVID-19?
The testing for coronavirus, the SARS coronavirus 2 or COVID-19 is done by a method called as the real-time PCR. This virus is an RNA virus. So in a lab test, what we actually try and detect is the RNA or the ribonucleic acid of the virus. This is present inside cells. So when you get a negative result, the negative result is a negative result or confirms that you don't have infections, provided the sample is properly collected. So there is a sample which is called a nasopharyngeal swab, and it is documented through various studies that 44% of the results are actually false negative when the sample is a nasopharyngeal swab. Sometimes the sample may not be properly collected because there is a patient from whom you collect the sample, and what you're trying to detect is the RNA or the viral particles, and this RNA is very labile, or it is very delicate, so it may deteriorate and you may get a false negative result. Then we have a patient. The patient is actually actively shedding the virus, as we refer to it, and the viral shedding is very unpredictable. So in some patients, the shedding may be very low and you may not be able to pick up the viral RNA in spite of the patient being infected. The load of the virus, as we refer to it, is maximum from the day 7 of infection, from the day 2 of infection to day 7, and then it can go down. So if you actually conduct a test during this period, you'll pick up the virus or you may get a false negative result. The last part of the testing is the kit. Now the kits, different kits have different levels of sensitivity. So if you're using a kit for detection which is not a very sensitive kit, you may get a false negative result even though actually the patient is infected.
Then does a positive lab report confirm COVID-19 infection?
It's a little easier with positive results because, as I've mentioned, we are picking up something which is very small in numbers, the RNA. So positive results are generally a lot more reliable because in this particular test that is performed, there is a screening component and there is a confirmatory component. So there is a double check. There is a double check on the actual infection. The other point is that we look for multiple genes of the virus, so that actually helps in confirming positive results. And currently we do not have sufficient data to tell us if there are any fallacies with false positives. And finally, the most important point is the clinical correlation. Every lab result must be correlated by a consulting physician based on the clinical condition of the patient.
Oh, okay. Then can a positive report of a patient from one lab become negative on retesting?
In this situation, again, there are three components. One is the sample that is collected. So the first situation is if the same sample is retested, not by the same lab, but by, say, a different lab. The sample during that period, the same sample may have deteriorated. As I mentioned, the viral RNA is very delicate and it may go down in quality and it may not be possible to detect. So you may once again get a false negative result. The second situation here is if the lab is using, the second lab that is testing is the same sample is using another method or another kit with low sensitivity, in which case the result may actually become negative. The positive result may become negative. So 2 points here. One is deterioration of the sample, and the second is the kit that is being used by the method. Now, in another situation, if another sample is collected on the same day and tested by another lab, it may be a negative on testing, again because the sample is not properly collected or it is not properly transported and the sample deteriorates. Again, the sensitivity of the kit is important. So these are the three most important factors where you may get discordant results when a test is done first positive in one lab and then the results of the other second lab testing or the same lab testing also sometimes can be negative for the reasons mentioned. A fresh sample being collected after a couple of days may be negative once it was tested positive, because as the disease progresses, the viral load in the patient goes down, and that is with passage of time. So you may get a negative result. Patients who have good immunity, it is documented in various studies that within about 4.3 days of infection, a positive result may become negative. That means the patient has actually cleared the virus.
And in a similar manner, can a negative report become positive on retesting?
Again, it's related to the same things, that a negative result was negative because the sample was not properly collected, the sample was not properly transported, or the sample the RNA has deteriorated. So a result which was negative earlier for these reasons becomes positive because you have a good sample which is stored properly, and then you've used and last but not the least is the sensitivity of the kit that is used. The other important point is the sample collection time. If the sample is collected too early in the course of the disease, it may be negative, and then you collect another sample, it gets reported positive a little later, or maybe 1 or 2 days later. So improperly stored samples may be negative, and then on repeating the sample, you may get a positive result. One more important factor is the quality or the type of sample that is collected. Traditionally, we are collecting what we call as nasopharyngeal swabs, which are collected from the back of the mouth, the back of the mouth, as we call it, at the bottom of the nose. This is a nasopharyngeal swab. It is shown that sputum samples have better results than chances of detection than the nasopharyngeal swab. So I think these are the important questions that often bother patients when it comes to interpreting lab results. But have faith in the lab and have faith in your doctor, and I'm sure things cannot go wrong for any one of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kelkar.